Happy belated St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about the 2006 cop thriller film called The Departed, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Well, I know this is one of your go-to movies this time of year, right?
It is, yeah. I always
Yeah.
watch it around in March, St. Patrick's Day time.
It was different. I liked it, but I can't say I'm going to revisit it every year like you will.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. So where are we? Let's see. Some news. We've got. I just heard that Jackass 5 has finished wrapping,
Oh, wow.
and I believe it's supposed to come out June 26th.
That's pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I was watching or listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and it was an older one, like around Christmas or something, but he had Johnny Knoxville on there, and they were talking about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, we're going to film during the month of February." I'm like, that shit only takes you guys a month? Jeez.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah.
I guess there probably isn't much editing or stuff like that in those movies.
No, I mean, yeah, it's not like it follows a movie formula by any means.
Yeah.
They just... I'm looking forward to it. I love the Jackass movies. I just watched Jackass Forever the other day. I was still laughing my ass off.
Those are fun. They're a lot of really funny. They just dropped the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer.
Yes,
Finally.
That looks really good. And finally, we have John Bernthal as the Punisher in an MCU movie.
Finally.
Yes. Been waiting on that for a while. And I love how he goes to swear, and Peter, zips him in the mouth real quick.
That was perfect.
Yeah. No, and I feel like that makes total sense. And I could see if Deadpool ever came in, it was in a PG-13 movie, that they would do something similar.
I would feel the same way, yeah.
But I feel like he would call it out, too.
Probably. But yeah, the movie does look really good. Looks like
Yeah.
there's a lot of characters they're going to introduce in this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is purely speculation, not anything I've heard. I've heard whispers, but I don't want you to take this as spoilers, because I just don't know. I've heard Jean Grey might be in it, which I find weird for a Spider-Man film. I guess we'll see if that's true or not.
I've actually heard that too.
Have you? I'm skeptical about that one, but maybe. I mean, they are bringing more of the MCU together.
True.
I remember seeing on the poster, it did, he had a card, a business card for, was it Nelson and Murdoch? Murdoch and Nelson?
Nelson, Murdoch, and Page.
Yeah. He had that on his foot. So I don't know if maybe we'll see a little bit of Daredevil in here. That'd be really cool.
That would be cool.
I'd love to see I mean, it was cool seeing him in the last Spider-Man film, but it'd be super cool. It was the last one, yeah. But it'd be super cool seeing him, actually, Daredevil in the film, not just Matt Murdock.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll see. I don't know. I'm afraid, though, with this new movie, it seems like Sony's doing the same thing that they've done in the past.
I know. The same exact thing they did in the last two series of Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
Let's just introduce 100 characters. 25 villains.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw one poster was showing him, fighting at least 4 different people or groups of people. What? Guys, can we just... I understand you have a lot to throw in, but can we simplify this a little bit?
Yeah.
And I personally think it's a lot of the fans really want to see Peter versus Venom. And this movie doesn't look like that at all.
Exactly. I think that's what all people want. Just a Venom Spider-Man movie.
It looks like he's fighting the Hand, possibly some guy named the Tarantula, which I know nothing about.
I don't either.
Scorpion, it definitely sounds like.
Yep.
And then there was someone else, I can't remember. Not the Punisher, but I can't remember who the other one was. But still.
I'm not sure offhand, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's can you just stick to one bad guy? I know Frank's not going to be probably a straight up bad guy in this, but he's just going to do what he's going to do.
He'll be doing his Frank thing.
I hope he's a big part of the film, because I think that'd be really cool.
That would be neat.
I hope we don't get all this hype for them to just be like, oh yeah, he's in 20, well, I don't know about 20 minutes, but you know what I mean, he could or could not be in the film and it wouldn't matter. Because we get that kind of stuff a lot too.
We do. I mean, look at Spider-Man figure and Morbius.
Yes.
In the trailers, but not even in the movie.
Yeah, they totally did that on purpose, just to get people to go into the movie, and then everyone was pissed. The most they did was mention his name.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they had like one of his bad guys, but I think it's pretty obvious that's not going anywhere.
No, I think that's dead in the water.
Yeah, that's done with.
Yeah. So last week we had the Academy Awards, and one battle after another won Best Picture. That's with Leonardo DiCaprio, and tonight we're doing a Leonardo DiCaprio movie as well.
Yes.
So it's kind of cool. Actually, I watched that movie this last week too, since it won Best Picture, and I wouldn't say it was my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
It was a good film, though. It
Okay.
was worth a watch.
I literally knew nothing about that film.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. The film was about when their enemy resurfaced 16 years, or after 16 years of what happened a long time ago. A group of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue the daughter of one of their own. Basically, one of their daughters gets kidnapped, and all these guys get back together and go after her.
Okay.
But it was worth a one-time watch,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Any underrated movies you feel that won anything?
You know, I didn't look that close at it.
No,
this year.
okay.
I looked over the awards after they won, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, one battle from another, won a few of them. But
So I see a new Dune 3 trailer came out as well.
oh yeah, that's right.
I like them, but they're also kind of boring at the same time. Like, I want to know what happens though, so I don't know if I'm going to go see it in theaters, but I definitely want to see it.
You know, people love those movies, and they probably are really good. But I've only seen the first one. I haven't even seen the second one yet.
Yeah, and I don't know if we've discussed this on the podcast before, but supposedly George Lucas ripped off the original book series of Dune.
Oh, really?
I don't know if there's any truth to that, and I think the writer of Dune definitely thought it, because I remember hearing like he gave little jabs at George Lucas or Star Wars.
Okay.
There are some similarities, like they talk about spice and stuff like that, but Star Wars never focused real heavily on the whole spice thing,
No, I didn't.
as where the Dune series heavily focuses on spice. I mean, that's kind of the point of everything in that film.
Okay. I don't really know anything about those movies.
I
I
follow this one guy on TikTok, and he like explains a lot of it, which actually has helped me a lot, because I'm not about to sit down and read the books, honestly. But yeah, he just kind of gives little insights to everything. It's like, okay, this is why that is that way. This is why that's that way. It's like, all right, it's making sense.
Nice.
Nicholas Brendan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV series died at the age of 54 of a heart attack on March 20th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do you ever watch that series?
No, I never saw that.
I think I saw almost all of it. Very good series. I definitely, if you have the time, I would definitely recommend it. It is a long series.
I was saying there's a lot of seasons.
There is a lot, yeah. But he was always probably one of my favorite characters on there, so it was kind of sad to hear that he passed.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And then,
So young, too.
yeah, and then of course, R.I.P. Chuck Norris,
Oh, yeah.
the Walker, Texas Ranger, died March 19th at the age of 86 due to a sudden illness after being hospitalized in Hawaii. So that was said here. I don't think he's really dead though.
He may not be.
No. I think Chuck, he's just tired of it.
Everybody else died except him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He took death's job.
Yeah.
A little piece of news I got here: the HAAS has released a Godzilla-themed car for its Japanese Grand Prix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks pretty sweet too.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah,
So they just dropped the first trailer for the live-action Moana.
that was literally the next thing on my list.
Of course.
That's all I got for news anyway. But yeah, that I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I've seen pictures.
I watched the trailer. I am excited for the movie, but honestly, while watching the trailer, I was thinking to myself, I feel like I've seen this movie before. It looks like it's a shot-for-shot remake of the cartoon.
And that's always the problem with those films. Like, do you do a shot-for-shot remake and make the people who love the original film happy, or do you put a twist on it and make it slightly better, but it's still, I don't know, better is the word, but make it its own thing, but it's still, but then you're going to upset a lot of the fans who love the original and are going to be happy that you changed something.
Exactly. I feel like in that situation, you're not going to win.
You're not.
It's tough either way.
Yeah.
Now look at The Lion King.
Yeah.
I personally liked it, but lots of people I heard from hated it, or not hated it, but didn't like it because it was the exact same thing as the first one.
Yeah,
The
and
original.
I didn't hate the movie itself. I I don't like that they called it live action, because I don't believe any of it was live action, and it just was made to look. It was like,
Yeah.
you could call it hyper realistic. I think that'd be fair, but it wasn't. None of it was live, to my knowledge.
I thought I read that there was one brief scene in there that was actually filmed live. With
Oh,
a bunch
really?
of animals and stuff, but otherwise, yes, like you said, the rest of the movie was all basically CGI.
Yeah, and one thing that I felt was lacking in the film, which I understand real animals can't show emotion like humans, but it was almost lacking that, and that's kind of one thing you get in cartoons or even CG is you can make them have human, you can put human emotions on their face. So to me, I found it hard to connect with the film because I couldn't see those emotions.
Sure, I could see that.
That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, the film was highly beloved by a lot of people, enough to even spawn a prequel. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it myself.
Yeah.
But
I think in Moana, the new Moana, The Rock does not look right.
he looks off. He almost looks fake.
Someone was comparing him to Rob Schneider's role in 50 First Dates.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, oh, God, I totally see it. With the long hair and the tanner skin. And I was like,
funny.
yep, that definitely looks like him.
I mean, obviously he has no hair, so he looks weird to begin with.
Yeah, right.
But then it's almost like his skin looks a little weird. Like he's wearing... I don't know if he's wearing a suit or something.
I think it looks like he is wearing a suit. And I guess because what's his name, Maui?
I think so,
Yeah. In the cartoon, he has a really fat face. Really big head.
Yeah.
And in comparison to his body in this movie, his head looks small.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized what they were going for, but it's like, this didn't work out as well as I thought it would. Just I mean, I might go see. I might take my kid to see the movie. I'm not sure yet, but guess time will tell if people like it or not.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I'm more in the boat of as bad as it is, I'd almost rather see a shot-for-shot remake, because some of them I've been super disappointed by. My biggest one was Mulan.
Yes.
I almost a big fan of the original, but I really liked the original, the cartoon growing up. And then I saw the remake for that. I'm like, this is awful. Like, none of the original music, none of...
Characters were different.
Yeah, I know, one thing that was great about the cartoon is your main characters all stood out from one another. I couldn't tell one character from another in that damn film.
That's exactly true.
It's like, I know soldiers are supposed to look the same. I get it. But that was what, these characters were supposed to stand apart from the rest.
They were. I mean, you had the really big, huge guy. You had the tall, slender guy.
Yeah.
They were all totally different in the
Yeah,
cartoon.
you could hardly tell them apart.
Yeah.
I only gave that movie one watch, and I'm like, I didn't like the witch lady. I mean, I guess that's not too far fetched because, you did have the talking dragon,
True. Yeah.
Mushu. But even like some comic relief would have been nice in there too. That's what was so great about Mushu. And this movie was just like too serious.
They ignored all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that opening scene, the fighting in there, I thought was just so over the top.
Yeah.
And they were like spinning through the arrows and stuff.
Right. Yeah, it didn't land with me.
Yeah, same here.
And I think that was the sentiment of a lot of people too. Like you went too far off course on this one.
Yeah, I think so.
And they're like, oh no, the music somewhat resembles the original, and I was listening. I'm like, I don't hear a damn thing.
Cool.
So that's all I got for news. The Mulan trailer was the last one on my list.
Last bit of news I have, today they just released the first trailer for the new Harry Potter TV show.
Oh, I've seen some pictures.
I haven't
Yes.
watched the trailer myself, but I think it's a teaser trailer,
Mhm.
and it's supposed to debut in 2027 at some
Okay.
point. It's going to be on HBO Max, and what they're doing is they're making one season per book.
Okay, that's not a bad idea.
So that could be interesting.
Yeah, you could definitely explore. Get more detail out of the books that way.
You could, yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna find it hard to let go of the original cast. I think
So will I. They're
maybe-
all going to look weird at first.
maybe because I grew up with them, but we'll see. If I run across it, I might give it a shot. See what people think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see.
There was one more thing I wanted to bring up that I just remembered and I just forgot because I always forget shit. Got it. You and I both saw Ready or Not, Here I Come, the sequel to Ready or Not.
Yep, the one we just did the podcast on
Yes.
a few weeks ago.
That was a really good movie. At least I really enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
I was probably too excited for the movie because I liked the first one so much.
It
So it wasn't quite up to my...
Well, it definitely followed, for the most part, it followed, without giving any spoilers away, it followed a very similar formula to the first one. But there was some stuff halfway through the film that it started to change. So if you are a fan, if you enjoyed the first movie, I would say give this one a watch. Don't necessarily have to, I wouldn't say you have to go see it in theaters, but it was enjoyable.
I would agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
give it a shot for sure.
All right, I think with that, we will move on to the movie.
All right, so here we have The Departed. It's a movie from 2006. It's an epic crime thriller directed by Martin Scorsese. An undercover cop infiltrates the Irish mob in Boston, while a mole from the mob simultaneously climbs the ladder of police ranks, leading to an intense game of cat and mouse as they try to identify each other. And fair warning, there will be spoilers in this podcast.
Always. At least we'll try not to spoil upcoming stuff, but if we're talking about the movie, there's going to be spoilers.
Yeah, and this one's 20 years old.
I feel like it's spoiler safe.
Yeah.
So this is my first time watching this film. It was a bit of a slow burn for me, but it was definitely a very interesting story, and as I just found out, it was partially based on a true film or true events,
It
at
was,
least.
yeah.
So that was interesting. I did kind of like the cat and mouse game. It was always interesting to see, who's going to get the edge over who, and the ending really shocked me. Was not expecting that at all. Like I thought, oh, yep, here it is. I know the ending, and then, bam.
Oh, hell breaks loose.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what? Didn't expect that to happen.
Not at all. Yeah, in this movie, it's got a stellar cast as well. We have Leonardo DiCaprio. I guess you could say he's like the main character. Matt Damon, he's right up there with Leonardo as one of the main characters. Jack Nicholson, leader of the mob, Boston mob in this movie. Mark Wahlberg is one of the cops. We have Martin Sheen, Vera Farmiga, Anthony Anderson, Ray Winstone, and Alec Baldwin.
I was surprised to see Alec Baldwin in there. I didn't think he was going to be in here. I also didn't think Jack Nicholson was going to be in here. He almost played akin to the Joker in
He
this.
did.
Like,
yeah.
just because he was like, everything was kind of a joke to him. Like, he was just having fun the whole time.
He was, yeah. And it makes sense, as he found out at the end of towards the end of the film, that he was an FBI informant the whole time.
So that, maybe you can explain that to me. I didn't understand. So he was the one always doing all these deals, and they were going after him. So why was he an FBI? Who was he informing on? Himself?
Himself and other gangs.
Oh,
so he
okay.
was I guess not necessarily himself so much, but he was informing other gangs, other rival gangs in the area.
Okay.
And in doing so, he was protected by the FBI, so basically whatever he did, he got away with.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And then in the scene where we found out that he's the informant and Matt Damon's character offs him, he's doing that because he didn't know that Jack Nicholson was an FBI informant, so he's going to get killed now.
Right.
So...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the true story part of this. So Jack Nicholson's character, his name is Jack Costello.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Costello was a real person, but this movie's not based on him. They just took his name.
Okay.
Jack Costello, he was a crime boss at a different time in the early 20s, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's a long time ago.
But who Jack Nicholson's character is actually based off of is his name is Joseph Whitey Bulger. His nickname is Whitey. He was the leader of the Winter Hill Gang in Somerville, Massachusetts, which is just northwest of Boston. And although he adamantly denied it, he served as an FBI informant for quite some time, starting in 1975. He provided the FBI with information on rival crime families and mafias, and in return he was basically left untouched. And then around 1997, there were press reports that were exposing various instances of criminal misconduct by state and federal government agencies with ties to Bulger. So that's when things started going haywire for him, and then the FBI was like, hey, we got to do something about this. So a few years after that, Bulger was actually placed on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. He was on the run for 12 years, and he was finally caught in 2011, and he was sentenced to 2 life sentences. He was then killed in prison in 2018.
So this movie was made about him in 2006, and he was still on the run from the FBI.
Correct. And there's even a rumor out there that he was at one of the openings for The Departed, film opening, and supposedly a cop saw him there, and from what this cop said, Bulger didn't look like he liked the movie, because every time Jack Nicholson was on screen, he was just shaking his head.
How many times can anyone say that, or that they make a movie about them and they're like, that is nothing. I've heard that so many times that
right.
Like, they'll make someone a bad guy in a movie. It's like, I wasn't that much of an asshole, I mean, maybe I don't know how the real story of this guy besides what you just told me. So he was born in 1920.
No, Frank Costello was a.
They took the name.
They took the name, yeah.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, this movie had nothing to do with Frank Costello, minus just his name.
Okay, all right.
So Jack Nicholson's character was named Frank Costello, but he was based off of James Whitey Bulger.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I keep saying James. It was Joseph.
Joseph.
Bulger. Yeah.
All right.
And actually, there's a movie with Johnny Depp named Black Mass.
Yes, I know that one.
He plays Joseph Whitey Bulger in that movie.
Okay.
So that's the same character.
So is that more of a faithful adaptation, perhaps?
I think so,
okay. Yeah, I've heard of it. I know nothing about it, other than Johnny Depp playing him, which I know Johnny Depp is a fairly good actor.
Yeah, he is. I like his stuff.
He can definitely transform into his roles.
Yeah, that's for sure. We haven't seen that movie either. I'll have to watch it now after we just watch this.
So I had a hard time in this film. I couldn't believe how young all these guys looked, because I'm just so used to seeing them as they are now. But yeah, like Leo, he was so young. It was weird seeing Marky Mark with longer hair, because he's just like he's had like the same hairstyle for I don't know how many years now, and he just kind of had like some bangs. It's like he almost looked like more like one of his brothers than himself.
Sure.
What's the one who plays on Blue Bloods? Like.
Oh, Donnie?
Donnie, yeah. For some reason, I always thought he was Donnie, and not Mark. I don't think Donnie has had quite the acting career as Mark.
No, I don't think so.
Minus their band. I don't know much about their band, though, either.
They got that, and they got their Wahlburgers.
Which...
burger place.
I don't know how the in-restaurant is. I remember you and I tried some a while back, which they were okay. I mean, they weren't bad burgers.
Yeah, they were fine. I mean, they were fine. Nothing special.
Yeah, I wouldn't go spending the money again just to say, I had Wahlburger. I would definitely go to the restaurant for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool.
Because that is in like Massachusetts, right?
It's actually a chain.
Is it a chain? Okay.
Not around here, but they're all over the place.
Oh, we never get any chains around here.
There's one in Milwaukee.
Is there really? Okay, yeah. I was just down in Milwaukee not too long ago. And of course, Matt Damon. God, was he super young in this?
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Him and Leonardo both.
Yeah, both very well. You think about it, because this wasn't too long. This was less than 10 years after that Titanic.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, he was. I think ever since the Titanic, I think he's kind of been trying to shake that boyish charm that he had in that film. I don't know if he's officially like, what was it, The Revenant or something like that?
The Revenant.
Yes. I know the whole story behind that one. Another one I kind of want to see just because it sounds cool. But I know he went through some hell making that movie.
Yeah, he did.
That was another Martin Scorsese film too, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. I thought it was, but I could be wrong. I know I know he plays in a lot of Scorsese films.
He does. The Revenant, that was directed by Alejandro Inarritu.
Oh, never heard of him.
I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sorry. But yeah. Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, they've done Gangs of New York together. The Aviator, Shutter Island, Wolf of Wall Street.
I saw Wolf of Wall Street. That was
I watched that this week. Just
okay.
to
That was
get this feel.
Yeah, that was an entertaining film,
I love
to
that
say the
movie.
least.
Batshit crazy.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't. That was all over the place.
And it just makes you want to go make money.
Yeah, and that was another one that was. I don't know. Again, I'm sure there was a lot that wasn't true, but I think a lot of it was based off true events
That was
in this guy's life.
Yeah.
So it's like, geez, this guy had. If any of this is true, it's just crazy.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That guy is actually a motivational speaker now.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Jordan Belfort.
Yeah. That might have to be one of our movies because that was definitely.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, it was a fun one. A lot of swearing though. Holy crap, a lot of swearing.
Speaking of that, they said the F word 238 times in this movie.
It really.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg probably had about 3/4 of that.
Yeah, right.
Every scene he was in was just cussing and just F this, F that.
Yeah, with the exception of Nicolas Cage. Jack Nicholson. Everyone was so serious in this film.
They were, yes.
Like, this was such a serious film minus Jack Nicholson.
And that's what I loved about his character. Like you said, it was almost like a riff on the Joker.
Yeah, it was very, it just reminded me of his Joker, you know.
Yeah.
Not the Joker necessarily.
I like that scene in the theater when he walked in with that strap on.
Right. That was pretty funny.
Which I guess that was his idea.
Was it really?
He came up with a lot of ideas. And
Yeah.
He did a lot of improvising in this movie.
Really?
He came up with that idea, and he also came up with the idea when he was having sex with that hooker to throw drugs at her and make her sniff that while they were doing it. That was all on him too.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's just reliving some old times. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
He's an interesting character.
Yeah, and I had heard that he had wanted to. At first, he didn't want to do this film, but he ended up deciding to do it because he had done a number of comedies prior to this.
Yeah.
And he finally wanted to work with Martin Scorsese, and he wanted to play a serious villain role. So
I wouldn't say it was a serious villain role, but he was definitely a villain.
He was, yeah.
Although, yeah, because this came out. This was around the time he did that. I think that Adam Sandler film too.
Anger Management.
Yeah,
I think it was.
May have been like a couple years after. I think. But,
Yeah, that might have been in like 2003 or 4.
Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't too. It was right around that time. I know.
Yeah.
Say that was actually my first introduction to him because for some reason I had like gone years without seeing the original Batman.
Okay.
I had only ever seen like the second one and not the original. I don't know how. Like, how do I go that long without seeing the original Batman?
Yeah. Yeah, I know him really well from that and from The Shining.
Shining, yes, and that is one of my. I really love that movie, The Shining. That is a really good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's kind of even though it's not really a Halloweenish movie, but it's kind of a go-to of mine around that time of year.
Yeah, I like to watch it around that time
Yeah.
too.
And he in that outstanding performance in that one. Just the way he gets into that character.
Yeah, he did really well. That
Yeah.
whole movie was so good.
Yes.
Just the creepiness of it. And
Yeah.
The way they did it.
Yeah, I know. Was it the writer? He didn't.
Stephen King.
Yeah, I guess he didn't care for the film too much. There were changes they made that he didn't like.
Interesting.
But then again, the director was a very anal person. Just in this, like, was the door chopping scene? I think I don't know how many doors they went through. But
Yeah, that was Stanley Kubrick who directed
yes,
that. So.
I do. I wouldn't say I know. I don't know a lot of his films, or I haven't watched a lot of his films. That is a very good one.
That is, yeah.
So, what else you got on this one? Unfortunately, I don't have much this week. I apologize. I was very busy.
So this movie was mostly filmed in New York.
I believe that.
They filmed a couple scenes in Boston,
Mhm.
but the tax rate was higher in Boston, so they went to New York to film this movie.
Oh yeah, they always do that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
So I could see that. A lot of interesting things on the cast in this movie. They originally wanted Tom Cruise to play the part of Leonardo DiCaprio.
I could see it.
I could almost see him being a little too old for that, but
Yeah.
maybe at the time he would have been.
I could see him in this film, but maybe not Leo's.
I could see him being maybe Matt Damon's character.
Yeah, or even Wahlberg's character.
Yeah.
I could have seen that too.
Yeah.
But Wahlberg, of course, being from Boston originally. Of course, everyone had that Boston accent,
They did.
and I'm like, I almost laughed because of that, because it was just weird hearing, like, Wahlberg does. He just naturally has it.
Yeah, and that was his natural accent.
Yeah,
Finally, they could use.
yeah. But like Leo and Damon, like, they were kind of funny listening to them have that accent.
They were. Yeah, and along with Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt was also cast at first as Matt Damon's character.
I could definitely see that.
That would have been cool.
I could have definitely seen that
Yeah.
one.
And they also wanted Al Pacino for Jack Nicholson's character.
I think that is I think it's good they didn't, though, because I feel like that he would have been the obvious choice.
And he would have been totally different, I think, too. He would have been more serious.
Yeah, I think it was.
character.
I think it was good they didn't go with him, because he would have fit the part just fine, but I think Jack Nicholson brought his own flair to it, which made the character way more entertaining.
I would agree on that, too. Yeah.
I don't know much about Al Pacino. I do know a few of his films, but he's kind of typecast as that. It's like, do you want to always pick that same person? Was where Jack Nicholson definitely was not typecast as a mob boss.
Not at all, no.
Unless you count the Joker, but that's, I mean, yeah, he is kind of a mobbish boss in that, but it's still a comic book character. It's very different.
It is different, yeah. I guess similar idea, but
Yeah.
much different. And they offered Dennis Leary the role of Mark Wahlberg's character, which I thought he would have done perfect on that one.
Yeah, because isn't he kind of from? I don't know if he's from Boston, but I think he's a New
From the
Yorker.
East Coast, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's definitely like a New England kind of guy.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
And he had to turn it down because he was filming his TV show Rescue Me,
okay,
which that's a great show. If you
I never
it.
watched it. Which I was a firefighter for 10 years. I think I would have watched
Oh,
it,
yeah.
but yeah, around that time. Well, yeah, I became a firefighter in 2008. So, and I think the show was still airing at that time.
Okay.
But yeah, never watched it.
Yeah, it's a fun show. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny. It dabbles in fire and just deals with comedy mostly.
Does it? Oh,
Yeah.
I could. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it was more about his life than he was just a firefighter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. And for Vera Farmiga's part, they originally wanted Emily Blunt or Jennifer Aniston.
I think she did a good job.
I think so,
though.
too.
I think she played it well. Definitely was very surprised. Like, I wasn't too surprised that she was pregnant, but my question was, who was the father?
It's true. And
I think DiCaprio was the father.
Think so?
Yes. And I don't think they ever flat out said who the father was in the film.
No, they never did.
But I found it interesting that they both died in the same place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or no, they didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, different places.
Different.
yeah.
Never
They
mind. No,
died.
yeah. He died, however long later, by Wahlberg's character.
Yeah.
And then it was that. I was like, oh, this is the end? Jeez.
Yeah, that kind of popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end we have just everybody killing each other. We had Matt Damon kill Jack Nicholson's character.
Yeah.
After he found out he was basically working with the FBI. And then we had Leonardo DiCaprio finally figure out who Matt Damon was.
Right.
Due to that envelope in his office that said citizens.
Right.
Wrong. And then he was trying to arrest him, and
Mhm.
Matt Damon killed Leonardo DiCaprio. Or no.
One of his, one of the other guys, one of his workers.
One of the troopers.
Yes,
One of the other cops.
yeah.
Yes, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So-
I didn't recognize him at first. I mean, he was probably throughout the film. I just didn't recognize his character.
Yeah,
'cause
he wasn't in much.
Yeah, he was kind of a background character.
Yeah, and his name was Berrigan in the film, and he kind of pops out of nowhere at the end, and you had no idea he was working with the mob.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
killed Leonardo DiCaprio. And he also killed the other trooper, Anthony Anderson,
Mhm.
that was with him. And the next thing you know, Matt Damon kills that trooper
Yeah.
to get him out of there, so there's no
Yeah.
loose ends.
Right. Which, yeah, I definitely understood that because it's like he was trying to wrap up any loose ends he had.
Yeah, protect himself.
Yeah.
And then when he thinks everything's wrapped up, he gets basically ditched by his girl.
Well, and I felt, yeah, oh, right. And then killed.
And then killed, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and
Mark
I
Wahlberg.
felt really bad for DiCaprio's character because he can finally come out of hiding, but then Wahlberg's, because Martin Sheen died.
That's right, he died too.
Yeah. He died very graphic, or not graphic, but just a very horrible death.
Yeah. Can you imagine being Leonardo DiCaprio's character?
Oh, yeah.
You'd be in a panic attack.
And he was already freaking out about being undercover, and now that just made it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
And now when he finally came out of being undercover, Marky Mark's character, not around. The one guy who could have fully proved and, like, you know, what a bullshit statement if that were real life. Like, well, he's on leave. It's like, I don't give a shit.
Oh, you're coming out. You're helping me right now.
Yeah. It's like, I don't give a shit if he's on leave. You're bringing his ass in here.
Yeah.
And he's helping me with this because he's the only one who's going to know.
Exactly. That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
That'd be a terrible.
Yeah, I would have been like, no, go get him.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything till you go get his ass.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not dead. Bring him back.
Yeah, he's coming right now.
Pay him. Do whatever you got to do. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I was surprised that Alec Baldwin's character put him on leave.
Yeah.
You'd think with everything going on.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin's character in this is a real ass. I've heard he's kind of an ass in real life.
I've kind of heard that too, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, he was definitely a real ass in this film.
He was.
It was just funny because I didn't know he was in this, so I thought it was funny. It's like, oh yeah, we just had Alec Baldwin in our last film.
Yeah,
and now he's very different characters, very very different. He wasn't making out with any guys in this one.
No, he wasn't.
Not that I saw, at least.
Same here.
Wasn't looking for it necessarily.
Yeah.
the girl, the actress, she was pretty though. I liked her.
Yeah, she was. I like her too.
Yeah.
I like her in the those horror movies that she's in.
Yeah.
What are those called?
I'm not sure. I didn't really recognize her too much.
Yeah, I like the Conjuring series that Vera's in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she's one of the main two people in there.
Yeah.
She's also in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
I should have recognized that then. Because obviously that's one of my favorite American Godzilla films.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
So as I was doing some research on this movie and I was watching it, Mr. French in the movie, Ray Winstone's character, the whole time I thought that was Ray Stevenson. I was going to talk about how he passed away and how he was in Ahsoka. And
yeah.
I thought that was him the whole time.
Yeah.
Until I looked into it a little bit more. I get them mixed up sometimes.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, Ray Winstone, though, he's in Beowulf, Cold Mountain, Black Widow, Puss in Boots.
It's funny, there was like and when I was a kid, I'd get certain actors mixed up.
Yeah.
And it's funny looking at it now because I'm like, they look nothing alike. Like, I used to get Dennis Quaid and Arnold Schwarzenegger mixed.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, now I look at it, I'm like, those guys look nothing alike.
That's funny.
Yeah. Be even worse if I said Randy Quaid.
Yeah, right. Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, right.
So in that one scene where Jack Nicholson was, I don't know if he was visiting his grandkid or just whatever the kids were, but the kids that were dressed as angels, he was out by the water there.
Yeah.
In the background there's a yacht, and that yacht was the same exact yacht that was used in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was Leonardo's yacht in that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So a couple other movies, classics that Martin Scorsese directed were Taxi Driver, New York, New York, and Raging Bull.
Taxi Driver is one I want to see because that one's with Robert De Niro, right? That's like a classic.
That is a classic.
I feel like that's another one that I have not seen yet that I feel like I should see.
Same here. I have not seen that, and I know it's a classic that I'll have to watch.
I think that's another one that's like on the list of like greatest films ever made.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
And there's a super young... I take that back. I was thinking Natalie Portman's in there, but she's not. It's,
it would...
Jodie Foster's in there.
In Taxi Driver?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, which is pretty young.
Yeah. She'd have to be pretty young in that,
Yeah.
Well, even, Robert De Niro, he was, what? Probably 20-somethings in that film.
He was pretty young himself,
yeah. Because, it's weird to me to think of Robert De Niro as a guy who has a mohawk and a shaved head.
Yes.
Because I've always known him as, like, an old guy.
Same here.
Of course, he again, just because of my generation, I probably know him more from Meet the Parents than anything. Because that was more, I think that was kind of my introduction to him.
It's kind of where I saw him, too, honestly.
And then started seeing him more and more. I guess maybe that was around the time I started paying attention to certain actors. I've always liked Ben Stiller, but Ben Stiller's really funny, you know.
Yeah, he is.
So, anything else on this one, Sean?
No, not in particular.
No, might be a shorter one this time.
Yeah, this movie, it did really well at the box office and at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
It won Best Picture in 2006. It also won Best Director.
Okay.
It won Best Adapted Screenplay. And Mark Wahlberg was also nominated for Best Supporting Actor
All right.
for this movie.
Do you know the IMDb score off on this one? Okay, I'll look it up quick. It's 8.5 out of 10.
That's actually really
So
high.
that is really high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many votes is on there?
1.5 million.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty high-ranking movie.
Yeah. It's got a Metascore of 85 with 39 critics. So.
Yeah, if you're in the mood for like a cop thriller, a little bit of action, some drama involved, and if you want to see something like that, definitely check this one out.
Yeah.
Good story.
What would you, if you were to rate this one, what would you rate it out of 10?
I give this a 9. I really enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
I love the story to it and just all the cast and the characters, and I like it when a lot of characters get killed, oddly enough, in a movie, and that's what happens in this one.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit on, not quite the opposite end, but a little on the lower end. I'm going to give it a 4. Just because it was such a slow burn for me.
Okay.
Definitely picked up towards the end. Like, things got really interesting towards the end. But it was just, like I said, just a slow burn for me. It wasn't bad by any means.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be picking it up here myself.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think if you're good, we might end this podcast.
I think so.
Yep. But first, I'm going to do my movie, which is Guns Akimbo, which has Harry Potter in it, of all people. What's his name?
As an action star.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Dan, thank you. This one, I don't think this was a very popular film, but it was to me it was very interesting and also kind of really funny. So yeah, if you're interested, if you want to check out the next movie, it's Guns Akimbo from 2019. You can see it on MovieSphere, Fossum, Pluto TV, Roku channel. It says Roku channel, or you can rent it on Prime Video. Luckily, you just bought it, so I'm just gonna watch your copy of it. So, until next time, we will talk to you guys later.
Thanks again.